Earl, I'm so sorry. I just did not feel like dancing after dinner tonight.
Apologies are not necessary. You've got a lot on your mind.
Yes. I dread the thought of missing you when I go back to Oakdale.
Well, missing is going to be very mutual, I'm afraid.
You must promise me something.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let Lucinda Walsh walk all over you. She does that to people who work for her. Work for her. You know what I mean.
Don't worry
I do
about
worry.
that. Come on, let's have a little nightcap,
And, oh, look what you've done. Oh, how wonderful. You think of everything. When did you do this?
Oh, when you were changing.
Oh, are you incredible?
Now, let's have a toast, okay?
All right. You propose it.
Here's to, Lucinda and her undying generosity.
No, I'm not going to drink to that.
Oh.
No, I'm just going to enjoy the champagne. I'll enjoy you.
Okay. I'm glad we came home early tonight. I hate the idea of losing you tomorrow morning.
Losing me? Not really. I promise. Oh, come on.
Is my daughter Lily here?
What?
Have you seen my daughter Lily? Have either of you seen her?
What's happened?
Well, she's here in New York with me, and when we finished, I went upstairs, and I thought she was just out getting a magazine or something like that. I changed for dinner, I unpacked. 2 hours went by. Well, I've checked with the doorman, I've checked with the desk, and nobody has seen the child. The child has just vanished.
Oh, please, just be calm.
I know it's New York, and I know she knows New York, but I don't like the thought of her on the streets for 2 hours.
No, of course you don't. Did you call the police?
I called them, and they hung up.
What?
The first time, and they were exceedingly rude to me, and the gentleman there said that he thought she was probably seeing a movie, and it doesn't count anyway, and if you're missing only 2 hours, and I have not had a ransom call or anything like that, but I just think that you can get into an awful lot of trouble in 2 hours.
Of course. Lucinda, would you mind if I called my daughter-in-law, Margot? I know that she knows policemen here in New York, and maybe she can help push things along a little bit.
Would you do that for me?
Of course I would.
Yes. Thank you. Oh, please, don't. You must tell her there must be no publicity, that no one is to know that Lily is missing. She just has to be all right.
All right, Frannie, look, just don't force yourself. Just allow it to come back to you, okay?
You're not completely satisfied with my explanation, are you?
I'll tell you something, Frannie. It's a little difficult to understand how in the midst of a struggle, Douglas Cummings could find his way to the far end of the bed to lay down the crystal cylinder.
Margot, it's still so blurry.
And why wouldn't it be?
When are you all going to stop? Don't you think that a jury will understand? It is your job to make them understand. We had been kidnapped. We were being held in the middle of nowhere by a madman who had killed 3 other people. For all we knew, he was going to kill us too. There were explosions going off every time Douglas touched the remote control. I thought Bob and Kevin had been killed. Frannie thought Douglas was going to rape her. How the hell much more does it need to convince a jury that we... How much more does it take?
Honey, you're just getting yourself...
I mean it. Won't a jury understand that we can't explain every minute detail of that moment? Aren't they made up of human beings?
Yes, Kim, they are made up of
Oh, to
human beings.
hell with the
but they-
whole thing. I'm
All right,
sick
all
of it.
right.
I'm sick of it.
I'll take care.
I hate to say I was sort of waiting for that to happen. She's been so strong.
Yep. Babe, I think we should pick up Danny. Head home.
Okay. Frannie, I'm sure what you said to Tom's gonna help.
I'll walk you guys out, okay?
Bye, you guys. Bye-bye.
I just hope that Frannie can explain how the cylinder got on the pit before Hobson gets her on the stand and destroys her.
She made the whole thing up.
What?
To help Kim. It's It's too pat, it's too convenient, it's too incomplete. Oh, I have never felt this shaky going into court before in my life. Well, I know I won't get any sleep tonight. And good old Hobson is probably lying there dead to the world with a big, fat, smug smile on his face.
Hello, Mr. Hobson.
Well, good evening, Howard.
Big day tomorrow. What brings you here this hour?
I just like to walk a courtroom before an important trial begins, that's all.
I'll get the lights.
No,
for
that's
you.
all right, thank you.
Anything you say, sir.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have now heard all the evidence and all the conflicting testimony. I now feel certain you will return a verdict of guilty as charged of murder in the second degree against the defendant Kim Hughes.
This jury finds Kimberly Hughes guilty of the charges against her.
This portion of As the World Turns has been brought to you today by Ultra Pampers. Even when they're wet, they're dry. And by Sure. You can raise your hand if you're sure, because Sure Antiperspirant helps keep you dry. We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment.